Today's topic is one that's deeply personal and honestly a bit of a life hack. We're talking about how to romanticize your life, even if it's messy, chaotic, uninspiring, or just not exactly what you want it to be. I personally know what it's like to wake up every day feeling like you're just stuck in a loop. But I've learned that even when your life feels hard or imperfect or just a mess, you can still choose to see or create beauty in it. So the other day I was watching the new series Forever on Netflix, and this one line from the very first episode really stood out to me and hit me like a ton of bricks. So much so that I rewinded it twice and just sat to ponder on it. Now, if you haven't seen the show, this is not going to be a spoiler, but the main character, Keisha, was talking to her grandfather about how her life is just all over the place. There's a lot going on. She's not really happy, but she stresses the fact that she's just trying to get to Howard. She's in high school at the time, and throughout the series, she constantly talks about how her life is going to be better when she finally gets to college. And when she's having this conversation with her grandfather, he says, well, what if you get hit by a car? And she's like, what? And then he comes back and says, you have to figure out how to find the Howard in today. And I think a lot of us can relate to that whole feeling of, oh, I can't wait until I get to this point in my life so that I can be happy, so that I can finally love my life. A lot of us are so fixated on happiness being a destination, not realizing that we can create happiness where we are today. No matter what's going on in your life, no matter what your finances are looking like, no matter what your social life or your love life is looking like, you can still find or create beauty in your life the way it is today. And I absolutely love this mindset shift because it puts the ball back in our court and it gives us our control back. It reminds us that we actually have control over our happiness, or should I say our joy, because there is a difference between the two. The word happiness is defined as a general state of well-being or contentment, often associated with positive experiences, and it's also fleeting. Joy, on the other hand, is a deeper, more enduring feeling of contentment, often linked to internal sources of meaning and purpose. I find that I feel more joyful when I find satisfaction in everyday experiences, basically romanticizing the little things. And in this video today, we're going to be talking about exactly that. Not aesthetics, not a new car or a new house or how to make more money, you know, the things that would typically make you happy, but a mindset shift that helps you to fall in love with the life that you have right now. There was this era on social media a few years ago where all the girls were talking about how to romanticize your life. And I'm not going to say they were doing it wrong, but I will say that a lot of that content focused on buying a whole bunch of material things that really give you a false sense of happiness, or maybe just a quick sense of happiness. But these tips that I'm going to share today are going to be very simple and practical tips that most, if not all of you, will be able to implement into your life today. First, let's talk about romanticizing the routines. I want you to think about all the things you do on a daily basis, or even a weekly basis or monthly basis. What does your morning routine look like? What does your evening routine look like? What does your cleaning routine look like? And I want you to ask yourself, what can make these things more enjoyable? It probably will also help to first think about what you don't like about performing those tasks, and then think about what you can do to make it more enjoyable. Or in other words, how you can romanticize them. I noticed that with everyday tasks, it's easy to feel like a robot, which is honestly why I fought the need for routine and structure in my life for the longest time. I hated doing the same thing all the time. I hated the predictability of my life when I first started implementing routines. But the truth is, we as humans need the consistency of routines in order to be successful with anything in life. The key is to truly be present and enjoy these things, since you have to do them. Okay, so let's walk through an ideal morning routine, for example. I'm pretty sure everyone watching this uses an alarm to wake them up in the morning, whether it's on your phone or you have an actual alarm clock. Most, if not all of us, use an alarm. I don't know about y'all, but I be so irritated when my alarm goes off in the morning. And an easy way to shift the energy around waking up early in the morning, or waking up whatever time you wake up, is to use something like a sunset alarm clock. You can find a sunset alarm clock on Amazon. I'll link some down below in the description box just in case you're interested. But I love the concept of these alarms because they literally mimic the look of a sunset in your room. And most, if not all of them, allow you to be woken up to sounds like birds chirping or any other sound that has that type of vibe. Like, imagine waking up to a beautiful sunset, the sound of birds chirping. It would just make you a lot more calm in the morning, as opposed to hearing a sound like, which instantly irritates the heck out of you first thing in the morning. With this change, it's not the alarm clock itself making you happy, it's the shift in energy that you have from doing this one task differently. Okay, so continuing the morning routine. Once you're up out of the bed, imagine grabbing your favorite, most cozy robe, going into the bathroom, and starting your skincare routine. You take your time applying each product, maybe even narrating it as if you're filming a segment of Beauty Secrets for Vogue. I actually do that sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I might not say the words out loud loud, but I'll definitely narrate my skincare routine in my head, just making it sound like the most luxurious thing. Taking my time and really letting the product sink into my skin. Like I said, it's common for everyday routines to feel like a chore, which is why we usually rush through them and don't actually take the time to take in exactly what we're doing. Sometimes all it takes is slowing down and really just being present in the moment so that you can see the beauty in what that task is doing for you. Now, if you happen to be a mom like me, maybe you can go over affirmations while you're getting your child dressed in the morning or brushing their teeth. Once your kid is dressed and y'all are having breakfast, try eating your breakfast without your phone. Matter of fact, before you even get to eating the breakfast, plate your food like you're at a restaurant. Plate the food like you're a chef. It's funny because sometimes I watch vlogs. I'm gonna use Aaliyah's face as an example. She cooks a lot. She's always trying these new snacks or all these new recipes from TikTok. And one day I caught myself thinking, like, why does she take the time to plate her food the way she does? Like, why is the presentation so important to her when she's the only one seeing it? She's the only one eating it. Well, I mean, we're seeing it, but y'all get what I mean. Because I really believe that she does that even when she's not filming. And one day it clicked for me and I was like, she's doing this because this is how she romanticizes her life. This is one way she romanticizes her meals, and it's probably just fun for her. It makes her feel good. And there doesn't have to be a deep meaning behind everything. Sometimes you just take your time and present things as best as you can just because it makes you feel good. Now, my regular viewers, my girls, know how I feel about structure and routine and the importance of it in your life. So we're gonna stay on this one for a little while longer. For those of y'all who don't know, I am a gym girly and meal prepping is a big part of my fitness routine. I typically do my meal prep on Saturdays, Saturday afternoons to be exact. And sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I don't be feeling like spending hours in the kitchen, especially if I work that morning. I just don't be feeling like it. But I have to do it in order to stay on top of my fitness goals. So I've found ways to make it more enjoyable. I'll do my grocery shopping, then I come home, I change into some nice comfortable clothes, pajamas, whatever. I put my big gym headphones on with some comfy slippers and I'll just listen to some music or watch a good show on my iPad while I cook. When you take a task that you don't really enjoy and stack it with a task that you actually do enjoy, the feeling you get from that fun task usually takes over. Okay, let's move on to number 2. The second way to romanticize your life is to create more moments of stillness. Let's be real, life can get very chaotic. And for some of us, life is chaotic most of the time. Speaking for myself, I'm a mom of an almost 4-year-old boy, might I add. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a content creator, and I'm a whole lot of things to a whole lot of people. And I am very often overstimulated from doing a whole bunch of things all the time. And I notice that the older I get, the more I appreciate moments of stillness. Moments where I can just be, and moments that allow me to release things that I may have been holding in for a while. I've talked about this plenty of times on my channel, but I love my shower time, whether it's in the morning or at night. I use my shower time as a time to decompress. Literally a time to just breathe and not think. This is what I mean by moments to just be. I also love to journal, especially at night. Sometimes I do brain dumps where I just write about anything that comes to mind, how I'm feeling, things that may have happened that day. Sometimes I do gratitude journaling where I list out things that I'm grateful for, whether it's 3 things or 20 things. Sometimes I write about my ideal life and who I want to be. And sometimes I write affirmations. Again, this just goes back to that theme of slowing down, taking things in, being present, grateful, and hopeful. These moments help you to shift your focus from the not so great aspects of your life. Number 3, beautify your surroundings. You may not have the most aesthetically pleasing home, you may not have the most luxurious car, but you can always beautify what you do have. Even if you don't have the money for super nice decor, you can take care of your space simply by keeping it clean and tidy. And the same thing goes for your car. I noticed that a lot of us have this mindset of, this isn't my ideal thing. This isn't what I really want. This is just what I happen to have right now. So I don't feel the need to put a bunch of effort and energy and time and money into it. And that is quite the opposite of romanticizing your life. When you're romanticizing your life, you're taking care of the things that you already have. You're finding joy in what you already have, getting pleasure out of what you already have. So take care of that car like you would a luxury car. Whatever your dream car is, start treating the car that you have now like you would that dream car. Whatever your dream home looks like, your dream apartment, start treating your space right now, even if you're still living with your parents or whoever and you just have a bedroom. Treat that bedroom like you would your bedroom in your dream home. Keep it organized. Stop just throwing stuff around. Stop allowing people to come into your space and leave trash and do whatever else. And last but not least, you need main character energy, okay? Stepping into your life with intention, confidence, and self self-worth. Every romantic story has a main character who's flawed, messy, but still trying their best. And while her life might be a mess, she's still captivating. So literally start acting like the main character in your life. You are not a supporting role, you're her. Some simple ways to do this: start dressing like how you want to feel, not how you feel in the moment. Speak kindly to yourself even when you mess up. Give yourself grace when things don't go as planned. One of my favorite ones: walk like you're on a runway every day. That's something that I've personally been working on recently. Not only am I working on my posture, but I'm literally working on my walk, my strut. Because I love when I see girls walking, whether it's in the mall, in a grocery store, or down the street, like they on a runway. Sometimes I literally be about to roll my window down and say, girl, you better walk. Being intentional with every step. And that's what I mean when I say we need to romanticize the little things. Like, do you know how much more powerful you will feel just by changing how you walk, how you strut? That's something that seems so small, but it has such a big impact on how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your life, how you feel about that moment. You're really taking time to be present in that moment and think about how you're presenting yourself, how you're moving, being mindful of your body language. All this has to do with confidence. Y'all know I'm always preaching confidence because that's the one thing that will change everything in your life, really. When you convince yourself that you are the main character in your life, you start showing up like that. So I'm just here to tell you that if your life feels messy right now, that does not mean you're broken. It means you're human. There's a lot going on in the world right now. I mean, that pretty much goes without saying. A lot of people are having a hard time, whether it be financially, emotionally, spiritually. There's just a lot going on. There's a lot of chaos. A lot of us have goals that are taking us a little bit longer, or maybe even a lot longer to achieve. There are a lot of things that seem really far out of our reach, but no matter what's going on in your life, there is still some beauty in it. And if you don't see it right now, maybe you have to create it. You don't have to have it all figured out to enjoy your life. You don't need a Pinterest perfect life to have joy. You just need moments. Real, meaningful, honest moments that make you feel like you're living and not just existing. A lot of us are just existing, just going through the motions, doing the same things every day. So I want you to make a conscious effort to start living and being present in the moment, being present in your everyday life, because you are not a supporting role, you are the main character. And while your life, your story may be a mess, it's a beautiful one. If this video resonated with you, let me know down below in the comments. Make sure you share it with someone who may need it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.